This is the Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel. Every single day I bring you content and information about upcoming sneaker releases. Mainichi upsuru no de mainichi mite kudasai. And it's a big challenge. It's hard work to bring you videos every single day when I also have my full-time job. I wish I could be like Seth Fowler or Soshi Music out there and actually do this YouTube and business for full-time and not worry about my full-time job, but I can't. So I've got my full-time job and this, what feels like a full-time job, sometimes bringing you daily content every single day. And today is no different. Today it's all about one of those classic sneakers from the 90s that is sort of, you know, sometimes it's hyped and sometimes it's not. Sometimes everybody's on it and sometimes they're not. Today we're talking about the Nike Air Foamposite Pro Hyper Crimson. As I said in the introduction, today it's all about the Nike Air Foamposite Pro Hyper Crimson. And it's interesting that it's called the Hyper Crimson because I did a review just a few days ago of an Air Jordan 1, which was called the Crimson Tint. And if I'm not mistaken, that Crimson Tint that I reviewed on Sunday, I think it was, which is a white base with pink and crimson on it, is going to be repeated again later in the month with a black base and crimson on it. So there you've got 3 crimson sneakers all dropping in April. I wonder if it's got something to do with spring, to do with new flowers, to do with cherry blossoms or sakura as they call it here. I have no idea. But that crimson thing is a repeating theme from Nike right now. And what's a repeating theme from Tokyo Butter 23 is me saying please subscribe to the channel. Why is that a repeating theme? Because I'm a dumbass. Last week, every single video that I had, as I said yesterday and as I said on Monday, every single video last week, I totally forgot to say please subscribe to my channel. And I was all confused. I was sitting at home going, why isn't the channel growing? Why is nobody subscribing to Tokyo Butter 23? What's wrong? And it turns out it's me that's the dumbass because I didn't ask people out there to subscribe to the channel. So please subscribe to the channel. Kino mo ototoi mo yutte 登録お願いします言うのを先週は忘れて、全く忘れて、連続7日間のビデオの中で登録お願いしますということを忘れて、先週の登録数はすごい減っちゃって、どうしたのかなと悩んでこっちから登録お願いしますということを忘れたから登録の数は少なくて、今週はしつこくまでに登録お願いしますって何回も言うのですみません。And I will say in a lot of my videos and a lot of times, please subscribe to try and rebalance that missed week where I lost out on subscribers because basically I'm a bonehead. But anyway, enough about me being a bonehead. Let's get into the sneaker. It is the Nike Air Foamposite Pro Hyper Crimson. I always find it hard to get those full long names out. But anyway, let's get into it. The first thing about the sneaker is it's a Pro. There are Foamposite 1s and there are Foamposite Pros. As far as I know, there are only 2 kinds of Foamposites out there. You might know better, and I don't mind if you do know better and you hit me up with a comment down below. I'm not precious about knowledge. I know some things and I don't know others. You know some things and you don't know others. If we share that information, maybe we can know lots of things together. But as far as I know, Foamposites only come in the Foamposite 1 and the Foamposite Pro, and the easiest way to tell them apart is the swoosh on the lateral side. The Foamposite 1s do not have a swoosh on the lateral side, and the Foamposite Pros do. It's a very quick and easy way to look at the difference between the 2 sneakers, and today we're all about that Pro, so there's definitely a swoosh on there. Now the only way I can compare, well it's not the only way, but it's the way I'm going to compare the Foamposite 1s and the Foamposite Pros is by using this Foamposite 1 Floral, because that's the only Foamposite I've previously reviewed for the channel. And as you can see on the lateral side, in amongst all those flowers and all that vegetation on those Foamposite 1s, there is no swoosh on the lateral side, but in today's Hyper Crimson Foamposite Pro, there is a swoosh right there on the lateral side. So that's one of the most distinctive ways and easiest ways to tell the difference between the 2 sneakers. Now let's have a look at the details of this Hyper Crimson Foamposite Pro. And there are basically 2 sections to the upper as there are on all Foamposites. Now it's hard for me to know what that shell is made of. In the case of these Hyper Crimson, that Hyper Crimson shell on there, I don't know what it's made of. Somewhere I read it was textile, but that kind of surprised me. I'm surprised to hear that it's textile, but maybe it is textile. Maybe I'm totally wrong about these things, so I've never actually owned a pair myself. myself. But you can let me know in the comments down below if it is textile. But you have got that sort of, well, they're calling it a hyper crimson upper, textiled upper, but it's controversial, which is kind of surprising. I mean, who thought Foamposites could be controversial, right? But it's controversial because one of the classic Foamposite colorways is the copper colorway. I've popped a screenshot up here, I'm sure. And it's got more pop than these hyper crimson. There's more shininess about it. It's not quite so dull and quite, let me see, there's matte and gloss. I think they're gloss, but the hyper crimsons are a bit more matte in their finish, I think. But anyway, it looks awfully close to those coppers. Of course, the copper ones are ones and the hyper crimson pros are pros, so there's a difference already. But in colorway terms, they're very, very similar. And that's actually going to come into play tomorrow when we talk about the Rip Hamiltons, which are dropping soon, the Air Jordan 4s, another controversial sneaker because it's very close to a previous colorway. So that'll be tomorrow's video, but I'll leave that for tomorrow. Right now we're looking at that upper of these hyper crimsons and wondering if it's too close to the copper of the Foamposite ones or not. And then the other place where you've got coloring on the upper is around that lacing system. And again, I need people's help out there because to me it looks like suede, but it might be leather. So if you know what the material is that surrounds the lacing system in pure black on these hyper crimsons, please do let me know. But that is the second sort of section or part of these Foamposites. Every Foamposite comes with that coloured upper, and then you've got the lacing system around there. In the case of here, you've got that fine material around the lacing system in all black and the all black laces. Then the final real thing to talk about in terms of this sneaker is the actual hits of orange that you get throughout and the detailing throughout that you get in lots of different places. Now there are quite a few places on this sneaker that have that orange branding. One is down at the bottom of the lacing system near the forefoot, but not quite right at the end of the lacing system. You've got that bright orange swoosh on that black background, which really helps pop, and it does bridge that kind of colour of the hyper crimson of the upper and the black there of the lacing system around there. So that orange in there kind of gives an extra bit of colour there to bridge those two, and that is repeated. That particular orange colour is repeated on the tongue where you've got the branding on the tongue, and then there's a pull tab that wraps around the top of the tongue with two distinct orange lines that go all around the top of that pull tab there. And then if we go to the back of the sneaker on the heel, there's again that orange swoosh motif. So it's three different places on the lacing there, the tongue, and then at the back on the heel we've got that orange swoosh. And finally, when we flip these guys upside down, ostensibly it's a black outsole with orange inserts in there and a big orange swoosh on there too. To me, it kind of looks like an Air Jordan 13 outsole, if you ask me. I might be way off target with that. People can correct me if I'm wrong. It wouldn't surprise me though, actually, now that I think about it. I hadn't caught this when I was researching this one, but now that I think about it, Air Jordan 13s probably came out for the first time mid to late 90s. Somebody hit me up with the year the Air Jordan 13s dropped for the first time. And Foamposites as well, and specifically Foamposite Pros would have dropped around the same time. So I wonder if they borrowed their branding. I think Foamposite ones have a different outsole to these. I don't know if all Foamposite Pros have these outsoles, but they definitely remind me of, I'm not saying they're identical to, but they remind me of the Air Jordan 13 outsole in their design and that kind of sections. I think 4 sections or 4 or 5 sections with one colour on the inside and then surrounded by another colour on the outside. But that's my review of the Air. Oh gosh, here we go. Nike Air Foamposite Pro Hyper Crimsons that I'm bringing you today. I'm not entirely sure how many people will watch this video. It's one of those sneakers that sometimes people grab a hold of and say, right, the Foamposites are coming back. Not many people are reviewing them for their channels, and so this might actually be one of those ones that flies because I'm one of the few people reviewing the sneaker. Alternatively, people out there might not be interested and nobody will watch this video. Who knows? But I don't mind because I like bringing you that daily content every single day. And now tomorrow, what am I doing tomorrow? Let me have a look at my list over here. Oh, that's right. I told you already what a bonehead. That's the second time I've called myself a bonehead in this video, I think. Maybe I am a bonehead. Subscribe. What I am doing tomorrow is that Rip Hamilton Air Jordan 14s. But I won't be reviewing that shoe. I'll be talking about it and about its release. But release. I'll put it in speech marks, put it in brackets like that, and we'll just leave it. And you can check in tomorrow and see what I'm talking about. For now, I just want to thank you for checking my content. I really appreciate people viewing what I do and coming in and watching my videos. And I will definitely see you tomorrow.